need. You can go utility, and you can go team fight with some of the aura items. So there's a lot of different builds you can go with this Mirana.
Well, we're going to find out here very soon what that Mirana ultimately is going to look like and do for the side of Secret. Of course, they're banking on it working well for them. Xtreme Gaming, on the other hand, again, playing it safe. Similar to their first game draft, especially, we talked about. It's just, it's one that kind of makes sense. Again, they can do it all across the board, and concluded with that Juggernaut final pick in the hands of Lou. Let's see who will be playing. So, early on, both teams smoked up, getting their positioning.
Both teams getting wards on the same cliff while smoked, so nobody seeing anybody up there. Was it Dire Sentry Ward getting placed here up the top lane, but not connecting on the Observer Ward? Does go for the camp block, though, but that got scouted out, so Secret's going to be able to de-sentry that and play around that pull camp in the top lane as a result of that scouting of theirs.
Yeah. That's why you want to get that information down as soon as possible. It's, you know, fun seeing those smoke plays coming out, so... I like it in the top left corner. You'll notice the scoreboard update in Na'Vi versus T1 in their game 3 as well. So again, I really love that about all these. We're gonna get it again with the group stages of the main event, of course. All this Dota happening simultaneously. A lot of ways to watch and enjoy it.
TI group stage is always like this chaotic fun because you need like 4 screens at once, and it's just so hard to watch everything. Zayats, speaking of catching everything, our Observer's doing a great job there. Catch the rune steal from Zayats. He sneaks in, grabs a bounty rune. But yeah, lots of Dota over the next week or so.
So it ends up being the 2-for-2 bounty rune split, but into the laning phase we now go as I pair it up with the Mirana. As mentioned here at the top lane, they're going to go up against that Juggernaut, as well as the tiny PYW finding himself up here. So DY is going to be at the bottom lane on the Dazzle, paired up with a Slaughter. What do you think of the supports going to where they are in these lanes?
Whoa. Solo kill mid. There we go. Paparazzi gets his revenge. He's like, you think you can play SF and own me? Let me show you how it's done. I didn't
even think to look mid.
Yeah. I mean, triple raise from the get-go. He's got the sticks. He's probably going to bring some mangoes out, but that's a great stop for him. But yeah, I mean, you're asking about the supports. They're doing support stuff. They're pulling some waves up top. Zayat's pulling waves behind the tower. Yeah, and down bottom, I think it's no surprise to see Puppy's Lich there. Sending the Dazzle, you want to have this range support with a Slaughter. That's why they send the Dazzle down bottom. Sure. Just to give this, doing double melee with Slaughter is like you're asking to lose your lane. So I think all the lane set makes a lot of sense for both teams.
Yeah, well, apparently the Shadow Fiend versus Batrider makes a lot of sense too. Just right from the beginning, just mowing him down. And no, I'm with you. It like I said, it feels personal for Paparazzi, first picking that Shadow Fiend and already getting the first blood. So expecting him to pop off this game certainly.
It's one of those, definitely feels bad when you have such a bad hero lane matchup and you go into a game 3 decide. I'm sure the only thing he was saying is like, I want to have a good lane. And hey, apparently SF just doesn't have any bad lane matchups because he picked this blind and is off to a fantastic start. So we'll see if that continues. Top water rune gets secured for Secret. They may want to try to grab double runes here, but Paparazzi has the lane pushed out in mid, so he can easily go grab that with his bottle if he wants to. Although he hasn't got his bottle quite yet. He needs to bring it down the courier.
Yeah, it's coming out right here. Has those 15-1 charges as well, but that's the boots of speed actually.
Boots, yeah. Looks like Nisha's going to be the one going for the bottle here. So he's just playing around Wand. I mean, that's one of the nice things playing in a Batrider is you don't actually rely on the mana regen that the bottle brings to the table quite as much. So that water rune just chilling down bottom. I don't think Paparazzi's going to give Nisha the free refill. At least he shouldn't. Maybe he'll, you know, if he gets a lot of creeps out of it, he'll give him the refill. But at some point, Paparazzi should just go deny that bottle refill.
Yeah. Yeah, just wants to focus on the creep kills and even get some braces on Nisha once again. As soon as he pokes in a little bit right there. But yeah, 15-8 on the Shadow Fiend, 6-1 on the Batrider. So got the early kill and is just dominating with the CS now.
Yeah.
In this
no looking back.
Bottom lane? Yeah, absolutely not. Bottom lane, no. DY. They're going for the kill on Puppy. The stun missed initially. Puppy turn kill on a DY first. Ult 11 there to clean it up and make it a 1-for-1 at least. We'll hit another Slithering Crush and I don't think he's killing him here. Just going to get as much damage as possible.
Yeah. in some ways better for old 11 there on the Xtreme Gaming side. He gets the solo kill and the solo XP. Like, his buddy's already dead, so he doesn't give up anything. And it's actually going to be Zayat swooping through and, I guess, securing the rune here for Nisha. Okay. Zayat is feeling like he hasn't really got a good place in this game right now. Like, the top lane with the Juggernaut is just... There's no real kill threat here, which is why the Jug was such a good pick against the Nyx Assassin. Because you've always kind of, you know, you can go for an Impale, but if you try Vendetta hit into Impale later on in the game, you're almost always going to get Blade Fury off. It just gives you one less core to try and gank, and even during the lane stage, we're seeing Zayat, like, he's trying to secure this mid lane a bit for Batrider, but as a result, Rezo's not having the best time necessarily up top.
So there, Lich also getting some pressure at the bottom lane, but he's fine hugging that tower. But yeah, top lane, you mentioned Resolution. Already at half life right now, PYW. Smashing his face in, but Zayat finding himself coming up here now. And now's the time for the turn, apparently. Yeah, the arrow into the impale, into the kill. There you go. That's one way to do it.
That changes things. Resolution, back to having a great time. I mean, he's got double Wraith, but he's gone all in on these early stat items. Actually, I think I was underselling how well he was doing here. Paparazzi went for a kill mid lane under the tower, and now they pay the price. But with a TP in from the Tiny, yeah, that'll help keep him alive. And it is a bottle refill, because that was PYW died top, so he gets to come in, refill the bottle and everything.
That actually worked out pretty well for them in the end. Yeah, it was a great bait initially by Nisha, it really was. Paparazzi almost fell for it, but was a little too far away. And then again, the TP support from PYW there, and he's still hanging around the mid lane. He's looking at the stun, one raise, going close, that's up the second, can he get the third? A couple of auto attacks. Oh, the stun from Nyx Assassin. Is it gonna matter though?
Still very slow.
But no, it's not enough. Yeah, he had the infused raindrop kicking in.
Another toss, but does have the mango, but didn't want to go for it. And looks like PYW's just going to sniper crew instead. Down bottom, DY gets found by all the slows here. Revenge kill would be huge though for old 11 if he can get Crystallis, but he's just going to sit invis and wait it out.
He's got the stun, but yeah, coming out with Crystallis and pops Refraction now. There's another bash proc though. Refraction's worn off, however, it is not enough worth the chase for old 11. So yeah, it's close call right there. No detection, unfortunately. Gonna bring someone Dazzle, maybe? No, Dazzle still doesn't have any either, but
Dazzle's come back now. I don't know if Crystallis was ready for this one.
Cross shield, it's slowing. The crush hits though, and there's the kill. You know, I just got finished saying how they didn't necessarily have detection, so.
Toss Requiem. Nisha.
Is it a kill?
It's going to go the way of PYW. They would have loved to give it to Paparazzi, but they hit the toss into full Requiem of Souls, and they find the kill there. So both mid and carry dying on Team Secret.
You love to see it. That's one of those beautiful combos. Toss back right into a Requiem land. So yeah, great kill on Anisha. Paparazzi extending that lead even further. Right now, the top net worth in the game. Speaking of middle lane, PYW is still hanging around. In fact, taking a lot of tower hits there.
They've got it. Yeah, they're keeping the siege wagon alive. He tanked the tower to keep the siege alive to get some more damage in, and with SF, they're getting this tower down to half health here. We'll eventually run out of creeps here, so I'm not sure. Oh, they're trying to keep the siege alive a bit longer. Creep wave comes in, but they're getting some good damage on mid.
Yeah,
good job.
Siege is
just tanking a little bit of damage here, and yeah, somehow the tower's still not killing the siege wagon, but they're kind of too low to stick around much longer.
Yeah, not worth committing for it all in the end, but yeah, plenty of damage done by that catapult on that mid tower. Bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Slaughter level 6 now in this bottom lane. Like, up until now, I think TA's been doing just fine, but with Dazzle Slaughter and all the minus armor from the Corrosive Haze, this is kind of going to get to that point where, you know, TA can't really stick around this lane too much longer and may have to consider a rotation into the jungle. But it's going to, you know, the worry for Secret is that they're going to have too many heroes who want to farm. I talked about Mirana with a lot of item builds you can go. That's kind of more mid-game-ish. At this stage of the game, Mirana's just kind of wants to sit and farm.
Wow. Crystal's just dead. That minus armor kicks in, and she did not stand a chance. Of course, you don't need a detection when you got that Corrosive Haze. Coming out from Slaughter. Easy kill in the end. And unfortunately, Lich was just, I think he might have been warding somewhere else, and they just happened to catch the timing of him by himself.
Yeah, definitely one of the maybe downsides of the Lich. It's this kind of immobile hero who doesn't have any kind of reliable stun to play around, and now Puppy in trouble. They're going from one kill to the next.
Yeah, that's a free one. Killing spree for DY ends up getting it, but Yeah, you'll take it mid lane, though. It's an engagement. Batrider, lasso in. Shadow Fiend is going to be TPing out with the Grave, and he'll be successful as a result. That TP in from DY was clutch.
So good. I mean, often you don't even see that early point in Shallow Grave because it's not particularly good in the laning stage. Usually you just go on like Poison Touch, Shadow Wave, but they saved up skill point with a TP in, and they, you know, of course they've already used their stuns there. It's like not a misplay by Secret there. They're just not expecting a TP plus Grave. Really heads up from DY. That SF kill would have been huge for Secret. Slowed down a lot of the momentum from Xtreme Gaming, but instead they miss out, and Nisha's going to have to look for other ways to catch up.
Exactly. You mentioned Secret as a whole, sure, but especially Nisha. He really wanted that kill at this point, but unable to get it.
Yeah, he's bottom of the net worth as far as the 6 cores go. Good 700 gold behind his own teammate, and 1,200 gold behind the Jug, SF, Slardar. So all 3 Dire cores having great games. It's only really Rezo who's had a good laning stage. And he's had an amazing laning stage. He's top net worth here, but it's going to be up to Rezo to kind of think of how he helps his team get back into this game. It seems like he just wants to play as a semi-carry, which I'm not opposed to, but somebody's going to have to give up something. And right so far, it's been Nisha.
Oh, giving up. Speaking of that, Crystal, it's going to be giving up as alive. Oh, I said it. It looks so pretty, especially when there's die on impact. No chance.
Polaris in trouble,
right
though. They've got another Grave here, but... Oh, nice
stuns.
Carapace.
Yeah, you can tell he was going for 0-11, though. He shows up all of a sudden, and Nyx Assassin will fall as a result. Now Nisha needs to run. The double stun coming out with the avalanche and the double kill. That Mask of Madness enhanced attack speed.
No leap charges.
Doing work.
Okay. Doesn't want to dive for it. Yeah, what a timing to find your Mask of Madness and take a team fight. They get the SF, but that is a heavy price to pay to get that extra kill.
Oh man, the Nisha is just finding himself so struggling. 1,400 gold saved up. He's trying to get those boots of travel, but he still doesn't have them in 10.5 minutes, especially when he's prioritizing it. That is delayed.
And it's not going to feel good getting this 12, 13-minute boots of travel, and you're not going to feel like you can make any plays with it. It's going to be like, okay, I got boots of travel. Now I keep farming. And you know, you look around at the rest of Secret. TA also having a rough game. This TA is not really where you want to be. So Chrysalis is spending a lot of time, you know, going to be jungling, playing around wherever farm he can find on the map. So there's not really any clear way for Secret to make plays. This is the kind of first game where they're the ones who are going to be looking to kind of slow the game down and play a greedier style, unlike game 1 and 2 where they were pushing the tempo. So curious to see if Secret can kind of make that adjustment they need this game.
Yeah, kind of going to that point again, as you mentioned, with Resolution, he's going to have to, you know, bring back his position 1 days here, it feels like, playing this Mirana. They really need that from him, and hey, that's a good start. Resolution, killing spree. Zayak, of course, the one to set that up, but that's that beautiful combo that they're going to always have potential to use and set up these free kills. Yep.
No surprise to see it's Zeiss and Rezo. The new offlane duo of this team has just been clicking in all the games they play, and Zeiss' Nyx Assassin has been really on point these qualifiers, so gonna need a bit more of that if you're Team Secret here. They're still down 2k gold, and I can imagine Xtreme Gaming are gonna be eyeing off some of these mid-game timings where they can secure Roshan, get their BKBs up early, and at that point will Secret be ready to fight. If Chrysalis can't find the farm he needs on his TA, if Batrider can't get a BKB, they may just not quite be ready to kind of contest some of those early Roshes.
There hasn't been much focus or talk on the Juggernaut this game, but he's got a Maelstrom almost finished. He still needs a Javelin. Picks up the Mithril Hammer, though, and has those phase bits, of course, the Ring of Basilis as well, so he's looking pretty good. Top lane? No engagement.
Tiny nearby. Could run into them here. They do see Rezo. Old 11 just wants to finish his Blink Dagger on Slardar. 2k gold here. He does not want to die. He's going to be a little bit careful here. They're probably baiting around the fact they should expect Nyx to be here, but we'll see if Secret find the jump they want. Zayas walks into a sentry.
That's not good. Look, I'm just running after him. Get out of my jungle. Okay. Oh, poor man's Blink Dagger. That's one way to do it. So they're in crush, and that's a dead Nyx Assassin. There you go. He says, I don't need a blink.
Just great positioning play there. Just pulling Nyx in just close enough that he walked into the sentry range, and Slardar gets the haze off, and yeah, using this tiny effectively. Like, He's been setting up a decent number. I mean, he's only been in 4 of these 10 kills, but it feels like they've been big ones with the toss back into Requiems and now that kill there, just to get Secret out of their jungle, particularly at this stage of the game where we are in this a bit of a farm battle, at least for now. It's going to change because Blink Dagger's online and Old 11, he's ready to go. They scan out these Ancients and Nisha cannot afford to die here.
Oh no, he can't afford to die, but it's going to happen, gods. There's no way he gets out of this, right? Yeah, Old 11 just doesn't even need anyone else. He just solos him, basically.
Yeah,
that's
no
rough.
kidding. Yeah, and mid-tier 1 tower now exposed as well. Puppey, he's got the armor, but he's going to be careful. There's the blinking Slaughter coming to find him.
And he's going to stun both. He obviously knows that with the Spike Carapace. He avoids the Impale somehow. Puppey trying to get himself denied. That's not going to work. And he is absolutely in trouble. One more auto attack will then set up a dash proc. They don't even need it. Gonna get a couple off. The Avalanche and Paparazzi makes the kill. They're just running. They're not letting go of the W key.
Yeah, and they got a tower along the way. I mean, that's the nice. I think this Jug rounded out their draft really well. It doesn't like excel in any area. It's just a bit of everything. It's a bit of sustain with the healing ward, a bit of pushing power, Roche taking. It synergizes with the minus armor just because it's a pretty good physical damage core, and it's an early to mid game hero, which is what SF plus Slaughter want to do. They want to play fast and push the tempo in this early game. Secret, they want to come contest this Roshan. Xtreme Gaming, they get cold feet, decide to back off for the time being and not try and force this Roshan just yet.
Yeah, dare I say, guys, this is feeling a little similar to game number 2, where Xtreme Gaming is certainly getting an early lead here, but Secret eventually found that one kill, essentially, that kind of changed everything. But it is, but it isn't. I mean, there is still, it feels, I hate to say it, they are a little further behind. Yeah,
definitely further behind, and it feels like that avenue back is a bit trickier. Like, it is a Nyx Impale into Arrow. There's a Grave to save against it, but that may not even, that hero may still just die once the Grave wears off, so we'll see if they can find those clean initiations once again, but an underfarm TA, underfarm Batrider, they're not really, I'm surprised to see them not force this Roshan, because I do feel like Secret aren't ready to take a Roshan fight here, but Xtreme Gaming, they're playing discipline, they're going to go through the motions, smoke it up, try push out some of these lanes, although no one's showing on this mid lane. To me, this is almost a bit of a telegraph smoke. There's a lot of farm on the map that they're just not taking right now. Not to mention this Roshan, I feel like could have maybe already gone down by now. So just a bit of inefficiency in the Xtreme Gaming side right now because they want to play nice and safe.
Yeah, they are going to go to the road. They're kind of picking up what you're saying, though, now. It's just like, they must be in the bottom portion of the map, so let's just get this free Roshan out of the way. Yep. And they are actually going to do it now. Lich is porting up here. And
they want to fight this one. Rezo even
that's...
TPs.
I don't know about this.
A little bit late.
They are. Moonlight Shadows activated off the bat. Lich is in trouble. Can he maybe get the Chain Frost off? He can, so that's going to be a little bit of damage. Bouncing back and forth. Here comes Nisha. Disarm. The Aegis is picked up by Ludo. And now the Omni Slash cutting down players. That Batrider is first. Mirana is going to be able to leap away. But 2 are dead. Hey, killed Shadow Fiend, though.
Gets scraped up. He's got the Aegis. But what a find. They get Rezo on the backlines. That's a big kill. He was doing all the damage in this fight, and Zayat's dead as well. Xtreme Gaming just had too many weapons. Like, SF doesn't get the Aegis. There was a huge scramble. Great job by Lu to secure Aegis because SF got lassoed there. He had no way to pick it up. And the comms must have just been anybody who can pick up Aegis. Like, typically you want your SF to get an Aegis there, but and that's something Nisha knows. That's why he lassos SF. But Jug was just ready to secure Aegis. And all 3 of these Xtreme Gaming cores are farmed. So you take out the SF, there's 2 other cores that are eating you alive, particularly the Slaughter with the Mask of Madness, an absolute menace in that fight.
Yeah, I'm looking at, the damage done, and he certainly did some himself, but really was Juggernaut. That Omni Slash just cut through the opposition. 2,700 damage overall in that fight individually by him.
Solo kills Nisha effectively with the Omni Slash. A really well-timed Grave as well, so they even get to hold onto the Aegis for the following fight, so just great execution from Xtreme Gaming, and that's, I think that kind of highlights where it's like, they almost wanted to take Roshan without a fight, but I'm happy they got that fight for them because I feel like they're so much stronger right now. They want a team fight. So a Roshan that gets contested, as long as they're disciplined and positioned well and land their spells, is going to go well for them.
As soon as Batrider farms out the spot of lane, we saw the pings coming out by XG. They want to try to kill him. He doesn't have the blink yet. Again, he's been playing behind as Nisha. He's got the boots of travel, so he's flying around fast. But he still is lacking a bit of that mobility with the blink coming up next. But meanwhile, that's Tiny. I thought it was an illusion for a second, honestly, but no, that is a real one. And he finds himself alone.
Continues to his killing streaks. Well, it did get ended, but he's full 1-on-1. Top net worth cores for his team, but I think for Secret, they just, any game where niche is your least farm core is not one where I feel like Secret are in their comfort zone. And, he's 0-5 this game. He's typically the guy on top of the net worth, on top of the KDA when it comes to Team Secret. So it's a very different kind of setup. And, you kind of mentioned like Rezo, the old carry days. It does feel like that needs to come out this game on some level. This is going to be a game where they can't just look to Nisha and be like, oh, you got this right. No, this is Rezo, this is Chrysalis. These guys need to step it up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to do it with the BKB next. Has the full collector clicked up as well. The potential for Mirana. So keep an eye on that progress. But meanwhile, speaking of BKB, Shadow Fiend has finished his own now. You have the Aegis for another 2 minutes. This seems like a pretty good time if you're XG to start pushing more objectives, and they're doing exactly that. They push the top tier 1. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep going with this.
Yeah. The lanes aren't in the best position, so they're going to have to kind of keep falling back, and Secret's trying to split push a lot, but when you've got a Blink Slider, they have those kill opportunities. But speaking of kill opportunity, they've got ult 11 mid.
Gotta use a Chain Frost even to pull in, and yes, it is a kill. DY ported in just a little bit too late. That really was good execution.
The Sinister Gaze to follow up the Impale, and Zayat's just impaling, straight up. Didn't go for the Vendetta hit, knew they just needed the stun. And that's a big kill, because you mentioned how there was only a little bit of time left on the Aegis, so getting these kills during Aegis and they're not done. PYW gets found.
Oh no. The Requiem in the trees. He's doing the Nisha himself. Paparazzi, good placement. Zayat is dead, and that's all it is, though, at least. With Secret.
Yeah, just Nyx. Secret's fine with that. They get out. They almost kill the Tiny there, but a Grave comes in. DY's position this game has been really on point with his Dazzle. But these, little things that buy time for Aegis to expire. Losing a Nyx there, not the end of the world. It was close to his Blink Dagger, so a little bit, for Zayat, he's probably thinking, man, I was like 100 gold from Blink, but he'll get there soon enough.
Up in a couple of seconds, so yeah, he'll get there. Hopefully by the time another fight is set to take place. Juggernaut, meanwhile, taking some stun in the neutral creeps, and that delays him a little bit as Secret was running over, but he still has 35 seconds on that Aegis, so he's kind of safe for now. He did just finish the Manta style as well, but I don't know if it's enough time to force much with the Aegis at this point. Probably just going to let it wear out and then go back to continuing your farm towards progression of more items, but a 4-player smoke from Secret, meanwhile, happening as they wrap around towards mid.
It's the lasso. Just a tiny, but another kill where Xtreme Gaming are a little bit split up. They are going to get a revenge kill on Zayat here. And Paparazzi committing BKB and everything. He was a little bit worried about some kind of initiation. I'm not sure from who. The lasso had already been used, but that's his 9-second BKB now on cooldown.
Well, I think despite Carapace was activated, so he just wanted to make sure to go through that, but it's... Yeah, to get the kill. So, but a little questionable still, I feel. But yeah, I think that was really it.
And I think if you're Xtreme Gaming, you're thinking like, we weren't getting much more out of this Aegis. We're still working towards our items. If anything, they're trying to use Aegis to build up a bigger farm lead to, control the map and take over the enemy jungle a bit. They do get a DD rune now, but. Again, I think they're going to be very reliant on making plays around smokes and their Blink Daggers, and that's exactly what they go for here. They smoke up and they'll look for that next play. They don't have to use the Slider initiation. They've also got the Tiny Blink now as well.
Checking the triangle first. They scanned it. Nothing hits. They're running on through. PYW. Who's that over here? It's Bat Rider in the trees.
Yeah, they seem aware of this on the Secret side, but not aware enough for a toss back. They get a return kill, though.
Yeah, and that's a Chain Frost. The Sinister's get. This is a lot of damage, actually. TY's in trouble, but Ode 11, he jumps up our side of the backline. Requiem sold out. That's a dead Shadow Fiend, actually. That's what happened right there. Ode 11, he gets the beatdown on TA, but at what cost? He dies for it himself. Juggernaut. Lou has Omni Slash, has Manta. It looks like that's the play, so he'll be fine, but yeah, that was not the target. I mean, that's like the worst target for an initiation like that, it feels like, if you're trying, because you're giving up yourself as well. Unfortunately.
It was one of those things where it's like, Secret were just behind their towers. They knew a smoke was coming, and because of that ward, he saw it here and was like, oh, I guess I have a toss back. I'll blink in and toss Puppey in. But by blinking down to the low ground, he seals his own fate. So even if they kill Puppey there without Puppey casting a spell, it's not a good trade. Trading Tiny for Lich there, I don't like it. But Puppey gets an entire Chain Frost off and sets up the most insane team fight imaginable for his team. He did thousands of damage there, and just the follow-up, it was just brutal.
I mean, I was looking at that too. He did 2,500 damage. By the way, Nisha's going to do some damage here. Lou has no clue. This is an easy initiation with the Invis, and that's a free kill onto the Juggernaut, and here you go. This is the secret opening. They absolutely are finding the groove now, and they're going to push this tier 1 bottom as a result as well. So all it takes is that one maybe mistake, one lapse of judgment in the case of XG, and Secret, they're coming back.
Great patience, and this is the Xtreme Gaming playbook from game 1, where it's like, okay, we've got some good late game. Let's just sit back and wait. Like, we can play around our side of the map, play around our towers, play around our vision, and eventually an opportunity will present itself. And Puppey's Lich initially does, and then they followed up with some aggression of their own with the smoke out and the lasso kill there. So Secret continue to find and progress themselves through this game in a pretty positive way, despite the fact it felt like Xtreme Gaming, they got like, all these BKB timings, double BKB with a Jug, and double Blink Dagger with Tiny and Slardar, and they're smoking up. That's usually the time of the game where Xtreme Gaming like just take over the game, but Secret were ready.
As I like to call it as well, you have a case here of Templar Assassin almost has the holy trinity of items here. The Blink, the Desolator, and that BKB. Just about there. Did decide to go for the Dracolance earlier to Chrysalis, but yeah, the BKB, next couple of minutes, ideally we'll have that, and suddenly the Templar Assassin is becoming a real threat that you're going to have to somehow address. There's that Gleipnir, by the way, we talked about earlier. Finished on Mirana. That's a really good timing. 25 minutes.
Yeah, and she's kind of this carrier that just has to sit back and kind of get ignored in these fights. Batrider did TP out from those trees, but yeah, like a ranged Mirana just doing right-click damage with leap bonuses as well as BKB. It's kind of going to go unanswered, I feel like, unless somehow Jug gets like on top of her later on with like a Blink Dagger. Maybe the Slardar can, but you don't really want to blink on Mirana and Slardar because she's always just going to like leap away, and then you feel like you've wasted your initiation.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, it's one of those, another case of, not the most ideal target, and that's kind of closing quite a bit. I mean, what's really your target at that point? We talked about Lich, you don't necessarily want to do unless you're going to burst him before he casts anything, but obviously they couldn't last time. Oh, that's an illusion, by the way, that takes a stun. Nisha finds the real one. Well, he finds, it looks like Tiny of all heroes. That comes to Shallow Grave to save. Paparazzi, Chain Frost, bouncing around, good spread though. PYW is dead after the Shallow Grave wears off. However, Slardar's in. Old 11, he wants something. BKB's being committed. The Omni Slash cuts down the Nyx Assassin on top of the Requiem as well. But now Paparazzi, he's feeling plenty of damage himself. Resolution standing his ground. BKB's worn off. Another Shallow Grave for the save, but it's just delaying what feels like the inevitable. The Sinister's Gaze pulls and says, you ain't going nowhere, Paparazzi. 3 dead, and let's go to Roshan, they say.
Oh yeah, just hiding them around one by one. The BKBs looking pretty ineffective on the side of Xtreme Gaming. They start things off with a Tiny kill as well. And that's the thing with Grave. I think why Dazzle for a while fell off. It has made a comeback, I think, with some of the buffs to other spells, but it's not really a save. It's a delay. The hero can maybe get their spells off, but they do eventually die. And Secret used the fact that Tiny's been pulled in to bait out the rest of Xtreme Gaming to come in and take a fight. You've got this SF who's like, okay, I got a BKB, Requiem, I can maybe do some damage, but everybody on the Secret side is just kind of kiting them around, using their range. TA, Batrider, Mirana, triple range cores with mobility, and as a result, SF can't do any damage.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend definitely did not feel like he could do much. Even the Juggernaut, though, I feel like it's a big key to look at there, where his Omni Slash went off, and I think he killed the Nyx Assassin with it, but that was it. He's having trouble sitting on these targets, way back there. We saw when Slaughter jumped in, he had to then worry about his own life the second he got his stun off, and they just turned onto him, and he was getting blown up. So, similar story for Juggernaut, it feels like, as he is working towards an Aya Scotty, and that'll certainly tank him up a bit more than he'll need, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Juggernaut is able to deal with this, as you mentioned, the triple ranged carry over here.
Yeah, it feels like he's going to definitely need a Blink Dagger at some point. I think just a question of how soon. I would like to see it almost right after this Skadi. Perhaps once this shard first, since he can use that for a bit of kind of mobility, since you get the bonus movement speed. But definitely a tricky situation. It's not really one where it's up to the Jug to necessarily solve the kiting issue. Like, they didn't pick this Jug to carry this game per se. They've got like triple cores with SF and Slaughter, but with the position this game's currently in, it may head down a road where there is going to be a lot of expectations on this Jug in the late game to carry, because this game is going to drag out, and Secret, it feels like, are going to be in an advantageous position.
Yeah, I got to give props to Chrysalis, absolutely, because this is a player-hero combo. You know, this TA was struggling earlier on. Now she's the top level in the game at level 19, getting to 20, and second farm just behind his teammate in resolution, and not by much. So, yeah, the recovery has been phenomenal for Chrysalis, and something that Secret is, of course, very excited about. She's got the Aegis now as well, don't forget. She's got, she's with the Shard, so yeah, the Psionic Traps advantage there now as well. Make use of the Butterfly next.
Yeah. I like how we see Secret just using the Aegis to kind of farm up the map, push out all these lanes, and now hunt for kills. Like, they know this is too early to be trying to force any kind of high ground. Games are going 40, 50 minutes. They want kills, and they found the Jug in the trees here. They've got it.
Big kill. They do. There's no chance. He's out for 54 seconds. It's already a difficult time for the Juggernaut. It's especially difficult when you get found, but again, this is the composition. Early on, it was having struggles because of the laning phase, whatever, but now they're really all online. So it almost feels like you have to stick together if you're XG.
Yeah, and often a lot of the strength of Jug is like being able to like greedily push out these waves and, you know, Blade Fury TP out, but you can't rely on that against the Batrider. He's got boots of travel, and he's everywhere looking for these lasso targets, including the Slaughter. Ult 11 is the next to fall from one pick-off to the next, and these are not small ones. These are core heroes, the carry and then the offlaner, both going down in quick succession.
And I mentioned TA, how much Chrysalis has recovered. Frankly, Ult 11's the opposite. This is a Slaughter that was looking really good coming out of that laning stage, the top farm for a while there even. It's dropped down to the worst farming core, sitting at 12,000 now. So, yeah, it's another case of how this game has just absolutely swung in Secret's favor. They're nearing that 10,000 net worth lead overall. They still have a minute and a half on this Aegis, and they've gotten a couple of kills in the process. They got another tower kill. There's only one tier 2 tower remaining. Secret just putting on a clinic right now against Xtreme Gaming.
Yeah, they're just moving around the map so well. I mean, yeah, they're down 19 kills to 22, but all these kills from Xtreme Gaming go way back to the early game, and Secret, all it took was just finishing some of these items and, you know, helping Nisha recover from his slow start, and now Nisha's kind of returning the favor and helping set up a lot of these kills for the team while maintaining a good level of farm. He gets to farm one area of the map and then still show up to these fights thanks to these boots of travel. But with Aegis expiring, Secret kind of slow things down a little bit here. I think they're probably going to be expecting some more kind of 5-man smoke plays. Like, when you keep finding these kills and putting your opponent to the back foot, the natural response is going to be, okay, we got to group up 5-man smoke. So if you're Secret, you're expecting some kind of smoke, particularly around the Aegis expiring. I mean, that's the exact play Xtreme Gaming went for in game 1. Okay, Aegis expires, 5-man smoke, look for a team fight. So Secret seem very well aware of this. They're grouped up, they're all playing together, not giving Xtreme Gaming any openings.
No, they absolutely are not. Of course, the Aegis respawning now, or excuse me, going to be reclaimed, I should say, in about 10 seconds. But right as it's about to be reclaimed, that's not going to stop Secret from being more aggressive. They smoke around the Mirana. She's got Moonlight Shadows as well when they're ready to engage. You look at where XG is, though. They're literally just camping their base right now. That's how scared they are, but it's understandable. Again, they got this top wave push, and they're thinking that maybe Secret was going to try to push up here, but they realized not the case. However, they're making their way over.
Secret don't seem to be too sure of where they are. I mean, they saw the Jug top, but they were circling their own jungle for a while, thinking, oh, maybe they're in our jungle, maybe they're backstabbing us. They were scanning in the wrong places. So Secret trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. But I think after, I think at this point they kind of know that, okay, they just seem to be hiding. We've got so much vision on the map with TA traps and observer wards. I think from the Secret side, the game feels pretty comfortable because of the vision advantage. Just looking at the mini map, you just see it littered with these little green dots.
That's a Juggernaut. That's a great catch initially. The gaze pull in the grave. Again, it's going to save him initially, but for what cost? He's going to go Omni Slash, so that's pretty big in the end. He's spinning away. He's still alive. The Mantis down. No! You saw the auto attack flying out from TA. As soon as it connects, it secures the kill. So Nyx Assassin dying for this, but they do take out the Juggernaut, who's now dead for another minute.
Yeah. May just be enough for Secret to back off. You know, these Graves from DY have been on point, and at least with Juggernaut, you grave him and keep him alive. It gives him that opening to get the Omni Slash off. Problem is, he still gets chased down and killed, but at least for Xtreme Gaming, you're going to feel like you got a little something in return there, even if it is just in the form of a support. But this game continues to look rougher and rougher. It just feels like Secret are getting these bigger items here. Their cores continue to accelerate. You mentioned how old 11 had fallen off. He's not farmed a new item. I mean, he's just been on the exact same items and net worth for like a good 10+ minutes now, it feels like.
Yep. I was just thinking the same thing, and that's really unfortunate for the side of XG. Again, Juggernaut, we're seeing he got the Eye of Scotty. We talked about the blink. He wants it next, but it's going to be delayed even quite a bit longer. So we got a minute on the red timer for Roshan, and then we'll keep an eye to see as far as when the next Roshan will spawn. It's certainly going to be a focus of attention, as Paparazzi will throw it a pause. But yeah, Murata, the Satanic pickup, and already has another 2,300 gold saved up towards a butterfly now. This Murata, I mean, you see the talent tree she's going, of course, just all left side, just all about that attack damage. Resolution is absolutely living up to that carry hype.
Oh yeah, having an amazing game, and I mean, TA is online. They're gonna have double butterflies soon, something that at least right now none of these diet cores are equipped to deal with. Like Slaughter's not farming an MKB. SF can, but if he commits to this Scotty and then suddenly butterflies come out, he's gonna feel really bad about his game. A lot of evasion coming out. At the same time, you've got farm even on the supports. Like Lich has a Lotus Orb. Nyx Assassin with 7k net worth as well with the Blink 4 stuff. So there's just a lot of farm going around the secret side, even on the supports.
Yeah, I noticed that with Lich specifically earlier. Yeah, the Ghost Scepter Lotus Orb, that's not bad at all. I mean, the Ghost Scepter, talk about some great value this game. Mentioned the minus armor strategy, hence the heavy physical damage. Well, yep. What item seems pretty good? I guess this item, the Ghost Scepter. So,
on the Lotus Orb, like you help your teammates out. They get, you can purge off that corrosive haze, turn it around on the Slaughter, because a lot of the Slaughter, he runs in with this BKB Mask of Madness to try and right-click people down. But if he gets hazed himself, TA and Mirana are just gonna, like, in these fights, he's popping BKB in the front lines and just dying to right-click damage. Like, this Mask of Madness is not something he actually wants to use in these fights anymore, because it just makes him way too squishy.
All right, so Roshan, it's gonna be about 2 minutes, so of time, and Secret just goes. The 5-player smoke, they're going in. Nisha's ready. It'll be fine. Gets the tiny. There you go, the easy pullback and the easy kill. It's like, what can you do if you're XG? You're basically like, okay, you know what? Could have been worse, I guess. So they accept that. I just got an update, by the way. What was that? So I believe T1 defeating Na'Vi, 2-1 in that series. So that's
the comeback.
Yeah, congrats to T1.
That's the thing. You can have as good at a group stage as you can have, and you can finish first. But once you get into the bracket, it's a whole new bowl game, and that score doesn't really matter too much anymore. So we'll see who's going to be meeting T1 in that upper bracket here. Secret looking like they're, inching their way closer and closer, but they haven't sealed the deal yet in this game number 3.
No, they haven't. You do not want to feel like you have the victory yet by any means. But again, the positioning and the way that Secret is in this game, they certainly can feel pretty good about their chances. As Roshan, again, 50 seconds, so Secret just making sure they keep control of this side, really the Dire map, and the Dire jungle specifically. And again, every time I look at Xtreme, it feels like they're just sitting in their base. They are going to 5-player smoke, though, and they feel like now's the time to make a play.
It's so hard when you don't have that good scouting or vision hero, and their smoke pops. PYW is like, someone might be here, blink in, but opportunity's already gone.
Found him. Nisha, he got the target this time. Much better on the Shadow Fiend. 65 seconds he's out for. He's got a buyback. You do not want to have to use that, though. And the double flame break. This Tiny, you ain't getting away. He gets a Shallow Grave. Old 11 will stun. PYW, though, he's still dying to. They're using everything to keep alive. And now Slaughter gets caught in the front line. Shadow Fiend did buy back, but the blow up on the Slaughter. He buys back immediately, though, himself. Tiny trying to get away. That Frost Shield's up. Slowing things down around Resolution. He's being slowed as well, but with his BKB, he'll leap backwards and kind of reset. They got the buyback, so they can be pretty happy about this if you're Secret.
Oh, it's thrilled. Like, they've got a Roche waiting for them. They're playing around very short cooldowns. Like, Lasso's 110 seconds. It's kind of like the longest cooldown they're really playing around. Dire side, you know, they didn't commit any ultimates, but it's so hard for them to fight and move out of their base. They're very reliant on smokes. When you're playing without good ways to scout, they're using SF Manta illusions to scout. But on the Radiant side, you've got Observer Wards, you've got TA traps. You've just got all these tools to make it very easy to pick and choose your fights and to, you know, take a safe, secure Roshan. And Xtreme Gaming, they smoke up. They may, are they going to smoke into Aegis here? They may just feel like they have to make a play, but they're too late already to contest Roche.
God, that butterfly on Mirana officially delivered. Swift blink, you talked about Templar Assassin. It's coming up quickly. Yeah, again, the door, it seems like it's just about there being closed on XG. What kind of play can they make? I mean, tier 4 items. I'm almost surprised tier 4 items are just trying to drop out because it feels like this game is actually even much further in. But no, it is only 38 minutes right now. But yeah, those tier 4s are coming out. And Sardar, again, we mentioned this. We saw with the smoke play that they tried coming out of their base. This Nyx Assassin just really is making life so difficult for this XG squad.
Yeah. It's definitely the best adjustment I think Secret made. Like, there was this emphasis on SF coming into Game 3 with Xtreme Gaming first picking the hero, taking away. Hold that thought.
Well, best way to deal with the Nyx Assassin is kill it. He's not going to kill it, though. Unfortunately, not enough damage. Lou spinning in front, but now needs to fall back. Nope, he's bringing right back in. Isha says, get over here. The Shallow Grave, Lotus Orb.
No
trying
Omni.
to keep him alive. The Shallow Ward
no.
off, though. No Omni Slash. He's dead for 74 seconds. Now, they did kill TA. Aegis going to bring him right back up, though, and that is XG falling to pieces. So is the Shadow Fiend. And GG, well played. Secret going to be matched up against T1 in the next round.
Yeah. What I mean, at this point, the lead was just too big for Secret. The kills make it seem close, but Secret just pulled so far ahead here, and Xtreme Gaming all in on this kind of early game minus armor strat. Really looking to play around a lot of tempo, just couldn't quite make it happen. And yeah, I think Nyx is really, like, if I'm T1, I'm looking at this Nyx Assassin like, okay, these teams prioritize SF, but I think it's the Zayats Nyx that really set them up for success in game 2 and 3, setting up so many of these good team fights. And